you.
How's it going, sir?
Sir, who walked in behind me? But, well, go ahead and give us a brief introduction here and catch us up on your background so everybody knows who we're talking to and who we're speaking with today.
So, thank you, Tina, for allowing me to jump in. And she's my better half, Jiggy. So I just felt, I was home during the day today, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna jump in and support my better half. So Tina and I are parents. We are husband and wife team. We met in the government contracting world here in the D.C. metro area.
That's cool.
We were working for Lockheed Martin. Friends at the time, lost contact, came back. Next thing you know, I was smitten in love, and we quickly moved to a marriage with children. We have a blended family. We have 4 children, ages ranging from 18 down to going on 6. So everything from SpongeBob to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, driving a car.
You're experiencing everything all at once, realistically.
Yes, we are.
Wow. Now, do you guys have like a book or a website or anything we can direct people to? I know that there's got to be something out there.
Oh, definitely. Well, Jamal was mentioning our background because we have launched a series of children's books that are based on a Christian foundation and just good old-fashioned values and principles on how to spend time with your children and motivate them and empower them to do what's right and to have fun and live each day to its fullest. So to find out more details about our books, you could go to our website, which is HEROSE books.com. That's heroesbooks.com. We're also accessible on Twitter via Heroes Books, Facebook as well. Now,
you guys have such a cool deal here with the books and everything. Tell us about the writing process for some of these books.
Well, the concept was developed years ago, and our children are just amazing. I hate to toot our own horn, but toot. They just are really good children. They do well in school. They're obedient. They help others, and they oftentimes just take the positive path. And we're very proud of them. And we've been approached by friends and family and colleagues and complimented on our parenting tactics. And so we thought, hey, why don't we share some of these techniques that we use on a daily basis, and hopefully we can help parents on with their challenges and in their daily walks and rearing the best child that they can.
What have been some of the struggles that you guys have faced with all sorts of various ages in the house? What has been some of the most immediate challenges? You mentioned at one point you've got everybody doing everything from driving a car to the social media. So
absolutely, Jiggy. So you can imagine we have a blended family, 2 boys, 2 girls. The oldest is female, the youngest is male. So everything from I don't want to watch that when we're going on a family trip up to see Tina's family in Michigan, from D.C., Maryland area, to mom and dad spoke to me tonight and helped me with my homework, but not me. The others are not me. So competing for the family budget, typical family issues and challenges that I'm sure your listeners who have multiple children, the children outnumber us. And a good friend of mine at work said, things really get fun when the children outnumber you.
That's not good. You could end up having a coup there. You don't watch yourself, my man. You guys have written these books. What are some of the other facets of this? Who do we have here joining us?
We have the youngest. The baby just popped in, so he wants to say hi. He sees himself, so he's interested.
Well, Hey, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
Good.
So, do you give your parents a lot of trouble?
Do you give your parents a lot of trouble?
There's some
Hey, here. He knows, he's already being trained. He don't want to go on the record. That's what's going on there.
Well, now that you've seen a picture of Javon, he is one of the lead characters in one of our books entitled Super Cool. And
that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, and that's the cover of the Super Cool book. So that you can see there's a very keen likeness. And the series is based on our children. Just the daily interactions and some of the funny experiences that we have. Just parenting them and going to their schools and the conversations. So, we have a good time. And the books are fun. They are very interactive and relatable. And most importantly, they're beautiful books.
Yeah.
And I wanted someone to, when they picked up the book, to just say, wow, the visual effect, the imagery, the coloring. I wanted them to be as impressed with the book itself and not just the impactful messages that are contained within the book.
Well, I'll tell you, the book looks fantastic. What's been some of the reviews and some of the different things that people have shared with you about the books? Because I know that they're just flying off the shelves. People are picking these up. What are some of the various reviews that you've gotten either on the web or just from people that you've given preview copies to, things of that nature?
Exactly.
Well, thank you for the accolades, Jiggy. We're not quite there yet. We would love to be flying off the shelves at the current time, but we're a yin and yang marriage as most are, as far as balance, and I'm a little bit more conservative when it comes to business and moving forward. My wife is as well, but I'm a little bit more than she is. So, we want to be methodical and do this the right way and really try to expose Tina's vision for the books and introduce the characters and appear on shows like yours that, folks are tuning in and interested in traditional family values, Christian values, and really sharing that. You don't have to look very far on TV or, when you go outside the house to see what's going on, as far as the direction, of the country in general, so, we're trying to do our part. We're trying to do our part as, a family and as a couple. And so to answer your question specifically, we're just at the point where, where we've decided to self-publish and to begin
give preview copies,
yeah.
and really just introduce it. So we're just launching this season, this spring season.
Now, how important is it that you guys include your Christian values and everything in the books? Because I know that there's a lot of folks. It's not. It seems to me, and it's just an odd thing, but it seems to me anymore, it's not cool to be a Christian. But as far as I'm concerned, I think it still is. But what do you guys think, and how is that coming about with the books? Putting those values in there. How important is that?
It's very important. The concept was developed years ago, but I truly felt that this was something that was in my spirit and that I was purposed to do. And so the books aren't like Bible-toting, values, fire and brimstone, but just simple things. In some of the books, it's say your grace. Make sure you say your prayers at night. Thank God for a wonderful day. Have fun at school. Listen to your teacher. So those type of values. And then we have books that don't necessarily address those things, such as Rose Girls Visit the Zoo. So the girls take a visit to the zoo, but they have on their cross bracelets. So there is no direct mention of biblical principles, but it's our hope that it's ever present.
That's really cool. That is a really cool deal. Now we've got probably about 5 minutes here before we got to let you guys go. Give me a quick rundown of some of the books and give us a little bit of a preview of what people can expect when they pick the books up.
Okay, great. Well, I assure you, anyone that invests in our books will be pleasantly surprised. Our goal was to create beautiful literary products that would impress the parent as well as be a wonderful reading experience for their children. So they're fun. The characters are heroic. They're beautiful. They're active. They're superheroes in some regard. And what they can expect is for their children to quickly appreciate the book and hopefully make it their favorite read. So we hope to launch in the next month or so. The books are reasonably priced. We're not looking to get rich. We just want to spread the word and, as Jamal said, do our part. So they're reasonably priced. That's $6.99, and that's via online ebooks or hard copy. And
That's
they'll
cool.
be able to access them via Amazon, Kindle, as well as via our website.
Well, I'll tell you, I've got. I want you guys to send me an email as soon as we get done here. I've got some book PR people I want to introduce you guys to, because I think that they would be able to really help you, especially being a self-published person. They'll be able to help you kind of mold this brand and put this together and get you out there various places. So send me an email and I'll get you all that information. And real quick before we let you guys go, how do we communicate with you guys if we want to pick the books up or if we have some questions about the books? How do we get a hold of you guys?
The easiest way is to go to the website, which, as Tina mentioned, is heroesbooks.com. We have the links up and running. We'll be providing additional links for Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and so we're just at the point now where we're able to coordinate and integrate everything together and launch it. So I would the best way is to go to the website, and then you can click to get to Twitter or to your preferred social network.
That's cool.
Our email is listed there as well. So we're excited. Please give us your feedback about the website. We welcome constructive criticism and positive feedback. Whatever you feel like saying is welcome. So thank you so much for the opportunity to appear on the Jiggy Jaguar show.
Definitely.
Yeah,
That's a really cool name, by the way.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I have it doesn't have an interesting story of how I got it, but it's become a marketing tool and a brand name for about 15 years. So I am quite proud of it. There's a lot of people in the so-called radio industry who have tried to get me to change that and leave that behind, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. But like I said, follow up with me on email, because I've got some people I want to turn you guys on to that I would be able to give you guys some free advice and some stuff and chat with you guys. So send me over that email as soon as you can, and I'll get you a copy of the video here and the audio that we're going to put up as a podcast for everybody. And thanks for being with us, guys. Come back anytime.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Definitely. We'll talk to you soon. Have yourself a wonderful day, guys. God bless. Appreciate it. It is, of course, the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show, coast to coast and border to border. Hopefully my camera goes back. Look at that. No, it didn't. And that's an empty chair in the studio. What is going on with the cameras? We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we will chat. We're going to be chatting with IQ Al Rizzoli a little bit later. We've got more when we get back here in the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show, coast to coast and border to border, all over the World Wide Web and on 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada. As my good close personal Fred Ross Long would say, Canada! We got more when we get back.
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit dollarseed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. Dollarseed.com. What could be healthier?
Have you tried HireContractor.com? It's a great site for home or property owners and contractors. Are you a contractor and have you signed up? If not, you're missing out on free leads. Don't delay. Register for free on hirecontractor.com and get project leads by email on a regular basis. There are no per-lead fees, no sign-up costs, and no credit card needed to sign up. Contractors can list their profile on hirecontractor.com with past projects, licenses, certifications, insurance, and references. You got a home improvement project? Post it for free on hirecontractor.com. And contractors will get back to you with quotes or questions on your project. Review contractor profiles or ratings and select contractors you want to work with. Try hirecontractor.com now. You've got nothing to lose.
It's a new year here at the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show, and we are ramping up for a tremendous 2014. We have a lot of things coming up this year. We're doing a lot of television projects, going to be doing a lot of radio as well, and we need your help. Shop our Amazon.com links. You can do all of your shopping through our website at JiggyJaguar.com. That's JiggyJaguar.com. It's as simple as clicking on our Amazon link. That will take you to Amazon. Amazon will still look the same. It'll still feel the same. You'll still get the same deals. We just get a little bit of help off a commission from Amazon if you do shopping through our link. Also, we have our advertising available on Fiverr.com, as well as many of these other micro sites around the internet. We have a complete list at our website, JiggyJaguar.com. Recently, we had Dr. Ted Baer on the program talking advertising with us.
If they said that our media doesn't have any influence, why would somebody buy an ad? Why would somebody buy an ad on your program? Hey, we don't have any impact. There's no reason for you to. So it's a no-brainer.
So check it out right now. We've got everything available at JiggyJaguar.com. Thanks for listening, and thanks for supporting Transmedia Worldwide.
Are you a writer? Do you have a great story for a movie? Scriptapalooza is accepting entries to their 16th annual screenwriting competition. We have over 90 producers reading all the entries and over $50,000 in cash and prizes. Does your script have what it takes to win the $10,000 first place prize? Visit scriptapalooza.com for more info. That's www.scriptapalooza.com. Hollywood is calling.
DJEM.
Do you hear that? You can hear great tracks like this at Smooth Jazz Nation Power. Find them on YouTube. Smooth Jazz Nation Power. Or communicate with them on Twitter. Nation_Jazz. Oh yeah, Smooth Jazz Nation. The official page of Smooth Jazz Nation for non-stop jazz mixes. The best of all the greatest jazz musicians who have ever lived. Broadcasting out of Atlanta, GA. Check out Smooth Jazz Nation on YouTube. Do it today. Smooth Jazz Nation.
This is Chris Markowski, your watchdog on Wall Street, and this is your watchdog on Wall Street Money Minute. I was reading this this piece, and it was by Hunter Lewis, who is the CEO of Cambridge Associates, which is a kind of like an investment company, and he was being interviewed on Sirius Radio, and he said the part of the reason the economy is in such shambles and the political system is in such shambles is bad economic policies that have fed special interest groups. Well, this is something that we have talked about here on the program. We call it our watchdog on Wall Street, axis of evil, crony capitalism. And for all intents and purposes, Hunter Lewis points out that we are in a depression. If we calculate unemployment the way they did in the 1930s, we'd have unemployment basically at those levels. And you take a look at the photos, the lines at that time. There were no smart cards then, or snap cards. WatchdogOnWallStreet.com.
Back here on the big broadcast, we have Steve Dace with us today. He is he's written an amazing book in the past, which I'm assuming I'm assuming everybody picked up before the election because we obviously didn't get Mitt Romney elected. Steve Dace with us today. He's the co-author of We Won't Get Fooled Again. He co-authored that with our good friend Greg Jackson, who joins us each and every week here on this broadcast. But Steve is here today to talk about the final analysis of the election. He's a nationally syndicated conservative talk show host and political commentator, and you can get more information at stevedace.com. Steve, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good, actually. Now, I subscribed to you on the good old Facebook, and I was just enjoying your election night tweets and Facebook posts. I can't believe Roseanne Barr got so many votes.
Yeah, in case your audience isn't aware, what you're referring to is over 7,000 people in Florida voted for Roseanne Barr for President of the United States, proving that there may indeed be a need for forcible government detention after all.
We have Steve Dace with us today, nationally syndicated conservative talk show host and political commentator, and he's here to give us his final analysis of the election. Why are there so many different polls that was watching this election?
Because there's big money in it, number one. I mean, we have gotten to the point now where it's the process of elections matter as much to us as the issues at stake. I mean, it's, before I got into to politics, I did sports talk radio, and it's very similar. I mean, a lot of people follow the election and Republicans and Democrats like they follow their favorite sports team during a key rivalry time when they're about to play a big game against an opponent or a playoff game. And I think you can see that. And I think it's unfortunate, but also to be expected somewhat given the media culture we're in today. But I will say this for the conservatives in the audience like myself. The reality is that the mainstream media polls, now if you go back to 04, 08, yeah, I know there was a big snafu in 2000 with the exit polling, and that led them to really overhaul their methodology. In the last 3 presidential elections now, their accuracy rate is above 96%. So I think we need to start paying attention to mainstream media polls. Yes, their coverage of the issues themselves is slanted towards the left, but their actual numbers, the data they put out there on polling, when it comes to presidential elections anyway, has been very accurate.
We've got Steve Dace with us today. SteveDace.com is the website. He's the nationally syndicated conservative talk show host and political commentator. He frequently is featured on MSNBC. He's got host of the Steve Dace Show, and he is a contributor to USA Today. And Steve, talk to me about what you've seen and what you heard in social media that evening. Were there a lot of people on either side? Good losers, good winners, sore winners, sore losers, anything of that nature?
You know what I did is I signed, on Election Day, I signed everybody on my staff to monitor all day long one of the major cable news networks. And I chose MSNBC. I decided for the conservatives on my staff, I'd bite the bullet and take the network I contribute on a lot. And one of the co-hosts on our show, she had Fox News. Now, we didn't get a chance to talk to each other a lot during the day. And so when we all came in to do our show, which airs at night, when we all came in to do the show that night, the gal on our team that had watched Fox News all day, I mean, she was completely convinced Romney was going to win. And I think that what we are seeing here is that because of liberal media bias, too many conservatives have chosen to create essentially their own echo chamber. Well, we want to hear our spin on things, and our spin on things will be true. And, of course, there's a proverb that says one man's story seems true until you hear the other side. And I think what you saw on social media is a lot of conservatives who only get their news from Fox. If Fox doesn't say it, it's not true. Only read conservative blogs. Don't actually consume mass forms of media. But like a lot of liberals, only consume the media that tells them what they want to hear. And a lot of those people really believed Romney was going to win, and they were absolutely stunned and very upset when he did not. And I think that really was the big story on election night. And I kept telling my audience all along, hey, somebody's credibility here is going to take a huge hit, because you've got the traditional mainstream media and now the traditional conservative media providing two totally different narratives of what's actually really going on in the electorate. And so we'll find out on election night who's really been yanking our chain or not. And it turns out it was the conservative media, the Dick Morrises, the Fox Newses, those people that really are just as guilty in many cases of putting forth the kind of propaganda that we criticize the left for throwing out there.
We've got Steve Deace with us today here on the big broadcast. SteveDeace.com is the website. And talk to me a little bit about what you thought of each speech, the Romney speech and, of course, the president's speech.
I thought Romney looked genuinely stunned to bemused that he had lost. And I've seen him give more eloquent speeches than the one that he gave in speech, which overall was very eloquent, but not very detailed. I don't think he anticipated he was going to be giving a concession speech on election night. I thought at least the first 15 minutes or so before he really got into policy, but when he spoke in generalities about coming together as a nation, 10, 15 minutes of the president's speech was probably the best speech he's given in the last couple of years. And if you did not know what your policy differences were with him, it's a speech that was really easy to rally people. Then, of course, he kept talking and reminded us of some of his policy decisions that had last 4 years. But I thought at least overall both of them struck the right tone, considering how nasty the race was, which is to be expected. Obama really didn't have a record, and really until the first debate in Denver, Romney was, according to polling, the least liked major party challenger for president ever. This was going to be a race to the bottom with $1 billion spent, and those of us that recognize how much safer television is now that these ads aren't on TV, I think we all realize that how now you really realize how much we were bombarded with those.
Craig Jackson, do you think that book had any type of
the way that it did? Because if you look at the actual numbers in this election, I'm much conservative. I'm probably to the right of Attila the Hun, and I put the fun in fundamentalist. But in the end, I deal with honest numbers and reality. And and if you look at the real numbers here, Romney lost because he didn't turn out his base. The Democratic base turned out greater in number than the Republican base did. Romney won independents, including independents in the key states that he needed to win the election. And their crown jewel legislation and Obamacare, they sensed he was in danger. And all of this skewed poll, the polls that we were told were skewed for months, which had all these huge Democrat voter samples, turned out to be accurate. I mean, if you look in Ohio, for example, the final voter turnout in Ohio was +9 Democrat. That's incredible in a general election. And then if you look at the numbers, even though conservative, the Romulans tried to preach that this was the most important election ever, fewer people voted this year than voted in 2008, including 2.5 million fewer evangelicals, fewer Catholics. So apparently the Chick-fil-A uprising didn't apply to the presidential election, and you did not see a massive Catholic backlash against Obamacare and its contraception mandates. But what you did see was just as big a turnout of blacks as you saw in 2008, and an even bigger turnout, a slightly bigger turnout of Latinos than you saw in 2008. And everywhere you went, where it mattered most, they provided the margin for Obama's victory.
We've got the big broad who we have going into the GOP side for the next election. Is there anybody that stands out in your mind?
Well, I will tell you, the best news of them all is the Republican Party establishment bench is pretty thin. They had been banking on Chris Christie. That's why they gave him the keynote address to the convention. But he's really blown it in the last month. In fact, I'll predict that I don't think Chris Christie will even still be a Republican by the time we get to 2016. I think the backlash against him is that fierce. I think Jeb Bush will line him up. I think there's a better chance Barack Obama will be the Republican nominee than anybody named Bush. And I had a friend of mine who's connected with the party, Paul Ryan, and my response was, well, if Paul Ryan is their candidate, he would be more conservative than the last 3 Republican nominees. So if Paul Ryan is where the Republican Party establishment has to go, then that really tells you how effective we've been moving the party right, because Ryan is far more conservative than Romney, McCain, even more conservative than George W. Bush. My guess is, I will tell you this, I don't think you'll see an establishment candidate, and I do think there will at least be one Latino on a national ticket, maybe even one on each party's national ticket in 2016. The group that's going to wield the most political power in America for the next 4 years are Hispanics, because both parties need to have them, absolutely have to have them, and both parties think they can compete for them. And so Hispanics are going to be really sitting in the catbird seat politically for the next 4 years.
Steve Deace has been our guest today here on the big broadcast. Check out SteveDeace.com for more information. And Steve, thanks for doing this, my friend, and it's always a nice
At DollarSeed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit DollarSeed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. DollarSeed.com. What could be healthier?
Have you tried HireContractor.com? It's a great site for home or property owners and contractors. Are you a contractor and have you signed up? If not, you're missing out on free leads. Don't delay. Register for free on HireContractor.com and get project leads by email on a regular basis. There are no per-lead fees, no sign-up costs, and no credit card needed to sign up. Contractors can list their profile on HireContractor.com with past projects, licenses, certifications, insurance, and references. You got a home improvement project? Post it for free on HireContractor.com. And contractors will get back to you with quotes or questions on your project. Review contractor profiles or ratings and select contractors you want to work with. Try HireContractor.com now. You've got nothing to lose.
It's a new year here at the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show, and we are ramping up for a tremendous 2014. We have a lot of things coming up this year. We're doing a lot of television projects, going to be doing a lot of radio as well, and we need your help. Shop our Amazon.com links. You can do all of your shopping through our website at JiggyJaguar.com. That's JiggyJaguar.com. It's as simple as clicking on our Amazon link. That will take you to Amazon. Amazon will still look the same. It'll still feel the same. You'll still get the same deals. We just get a little bit of help off a commission from Amazon if you do shopping through our link. Also, we have our advertising available on Fiverr.com, as well as many of these other micro sites around the internet. We have a complete list at our website, JiggyJaguar.com. Recently, we had Dr. Ted Baer on the program talking advertising with us.
If they said that our media doesn't have any influence, why would somebody buy an ad? Why would somebody buy an ad on your program? Hey, we don't have any impact. There's no reason for you to. So it's a no-brainer.
So check it out right now. We've got everything available at JiggyJaguar.com. Thanks for listening, and thanks for supporting Transmedia Worldwide.
Are you a writer? Do you have a great story for a movie? Scriptapalooza is accepting entries to their 16th annual screenwriting competition. We have over 90 producers reading all the entries and over $50,000 in cash and prizes. Does your script have what it takes to win the $10,000 first place prize? Visit Scriptapalooza.com for more info. That's www.scriptapalooza.com. Hollywood is calling.
DJEM.
Do you hear that? You can hear great tracks like this at Smooth Jazz Nation Power. Find them on YouTube. Smooth Jazz Nation Power. Or communicate with them on Twitter. Nation_Jazz. Oh yeah, Smooth Jazz Nation. The official page of Smooth Jazz Nation for non-stop jazz mixes. The best of all the greatest jazz musicians who have ever lived. Broadcasting out of Atlanta, GA. Check out Smooth Jazz Nation on YouTube. Do it today. Smooth Jazz Nation.
Welcome to the Unlock Your Wealth Update. Here's Heather Wagenhals.
Today's update is on teaching kids about money. The way we teach our children about money is critical to their financial health. Sharon Lechter, co-author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, says when a child can tell the difference between a 1 and a 5, it's time to start. When children learn, more is caught than taught. It is important to specifically teach children about money, just as important that we walk our talk. From birth until around 9, children are digital audio video recorders, taking in everything we say and do and can tell when our actions and words don't match. An ill-spoken word or mishandled situation not related to money can impact how they manage money later on. To maximize brain development, we must practice being congruent in our own lives, sharing money concepts in an age-appropriate way. The better examples we give our children, the greater their chance for success.
For more great resources to help you create unlimited wealth and happiness, visit our website at crackingyourmoneycode.com. I'm Heather Wagenhals. Now go out and unlock your wealth today.
No Frank Wuko. We haven't heard anything out of Frank Wuko. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Are we plugged in? Haven't heard anything out of Mr. Frank Wuko. Not sure what's going on there. I guess we'll email him. Let's do this. We will. Where's that hamburger guy? No. Savage Messiah. Those guys joined us earlier. Where's the hamburger guy? We had a hamburger guy on earlier. Had a hamburger song or something. There it is.
Job at the burger joint when you caught my eye. A car hop at the dairy across the street, oh so dignified. A real aristocrat. Let me show you, honey, where it's at. If I had a chance, I'd treat you royally. I'd be your Burger King. Would you be Dairy Queen? I think we ought to cook something up today. I want to take this chance on us in true romance. I want you to know you can have me your own way. Clock and on the run with thoughts of you and me. With any luck at all, you'll be in my arms. We'll start our dynasty of modern day empire. Ain't nothing gonna put out this fire. Me and you could hold the crown of high society. I'd be your Burger King. Would you be my Dairy Queen? I think we ought to cook something up today. I want to take this chance on us in true romance. I want you to know you can have me your own way. Though I lack in pomp and circumstance, that's not me. Smitten by Her Majesty. I'd be your Burger King. Would you be my Dairy Queen? I think we ought to cook something up today. Yeah. I want to take this chance on us in true romance. I want you to know you can have
DollarSeed.com. All of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit DollarSeed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. DollarSeed.com. What could be healthier?
Have you tried HireContractor.com? It's a great site for home or property owners and contractors. Are you a contractor and have you signed up? If not, you're missing out on free leads. Don't delay. Register for free on HireContractor.com and get project leads by email on a regular basis. There are no per-lead fees, no sign-up costs, and no credit card needed to sign up. Contractors can list their profile on HireContractor.com with past projects, licenses, certifications, insurance, and references. You got a home improvement project? Post it for free on HireContractor.com. And contractors will get back to you with quotes or questions on your project. Review contractor profiles or ratings and select contractors you want to work with. Try HireContractor.com now. You've got nothing to lose.
It's a new year here at the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show, and we are ramping up for a tremendous 2014. We have a lot of things coming up this year. We're doing a lot of television projects, going to be doing a lot of radio as well, and we need your help. Shop our Amazon.com links. You can do all of your shopping through our website at JiggyJaguar.com. That's Jiggy Jaguar.com. It's as simple as clicking on our Amazon link. That will take you to Amazon. Amazon will still look the same. It'll still feel the same. You'll still get the same deals. We just get a little bit of help off a commission from Amazon if you do shopping through our link. Also, we have our advertising available on Fiverr.com, as well as many of these other micro sites around the internet. We have a complete list at our website, JiggyJaguar.com. Recently, we had Dr. Ted Baer on the program talking advertising with us.
If they said that our media doesn't have any influence, why would somebody buy an ad? Why would somebody buy an ad on your program? Hey, we don't have any impact. There's no reason for you to. So it's a no-brainer.
So check it out right now. We've got everything available at JiggyJaguar.com. Thanks for listening, and thanks for supporting Transmedia Worldwide.
Are you a writer? Do you have a great story for a movie? Scriptapalooza is accepting entries to their 16th annual screenwriting competition. We have over 90 producers reading all the entries and over $50,000 in cash and prizes. Does your script have what it takes to win the $10,000 first place prize? Visit Scriptapalooza.com for more info. That's www.scriptapalooza.com. Hollywood is calling.
DJEM.
Do you hear that? You can hear great tracks like this at Smooth Jazz Nation Power. Find them on YouTube. Smooth Jazz Nation Power. Or communicate with them on Twitter. Nation_Jazz. Oh yeah, Smooth Jazz Nation. The official page of Smooth Jazz Nation for non-stop jazz mixes. The best of all the greatest jazz musicians who have ever lived. Broadcasting out of Atlanta, GA. Check out Smooth Jazz Nation on YouTube. Do it today. Smooth Jazz Nation.
This is Chris Markowski, your watchdog on Wall Street, and this is your watchdog on Wall Street Money Minute. The President of the United States is calling all hands on deck. That means all the king's horses and all the king's men trying to put the economy back together again. We all know how that is going to work out. He says he's going to use his pen, and he's got a phone, and here come the executive orders coming down the pike. That's right. That's right. The dictator that we have running the country is going to start signing stuff into whatever. I don't know. It's kind of funny. We're now the 12th in the world as far as competitiveness is concerned. I got an idea. Why don't you write some more executive orders, some more regulations to make business more difficult in the United States? That's going to really help with the jobs picture here. WatchdogOnWallStreet.com.
Back to the Jiggy Jaguar Show on the network.
Back here on the big broadcast, we've got, we're going to be connecting here with Sherry Laskin here in a few moments, the cruise maven. Lots of new travel adventures.
Hello, this is Sherry.
Sherry, how are you? It's James Lowe from TalkRadioX.com. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you doing?
Pretty good, actually. Wanted to get you on today to talk about all sorts of different things in travel, and you are the cruise maven, my friend. Let's talk a little bit about your background first of all before we get into your travel adventures and everything else.
That sounds like a good plan to me. How long will we be chatting for?
Well, actually, we're live right now. We're going to be chatting with you for about 15, 20 minutes here, my friend. Talk to us about your background.
Oh, my gosh. Well, back in Michigan many years ago, I was looking for a job. I was married, had kids, and they were small, and I wanted to get involved in travel. So in my basement with snow up to the windows, I started a home-based travel agency, and at that point in time, people weren't doing that. You didn't have a lot of credibility. So thanks to the Internet, I learned how to build a website. And I was just perusing different travel sites, which in 1995, there weren't tons of them. And I reached out to someone called Arthur Fromer, believe it or not, at fromers.com. And I said, I've got all these wonderful cruise deals. How about if I joined your Thursday, every other Thursday posting? And I didn't speak to Arthur, of course, but one of the people that worked there. And so for about 15 years, I would send them my cruise deals every other Thursday. And that was really how I launched my travel agency with the national clientele. From there, I just decided to start writing. I got involved in the cruise industry. Stopped selling cruises mainly and focused on writing for travel agents and teaching them how to be successful in the business. And from there, I just kept going and was writing, and now I'm writing under cruisemaven.com. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Now, how has some of the different experiences and things been over the years with this incredible task that you've undertaken here?
Oh, it's amazing how it just keeps on, it just keeps on unfolding with one chapter after the next, knock on wood. And, the travel industry, of course, has been changing. As the public knows, flying is not fun. I never sold airline tickets to start with anyway, so I was never affected by any of the issues going on in that sector. But in 1995, I decided I wasn't going to fly anymore. So now I haven't set foot on a plane in almost, 20 years?
Wow.
Myself. Yeah.
Wow.
Hello.
Now, with the situation with not getting on a plane, why is that?
I really don't know. I never had a bad experience. I just thought, I bet I can get someplace a lot slower and a lot more fun without the stress. And I really didn't particularly like the idea of crawling through space in a metal tube. So it really was just a natural progression to leave airplane travel behind and just go everywhere by ship or small riverboat or train. And you can get anywhere that way. You don't, as long as you have the time and you're creative in planning your itinerary, you can get anywhere.
It is a cool guest with us today here on the big broadcast. We've got Sherry Laskin with us, the cruise maven. Talk to us about some of these new adventures you've been on.
Oh gosh, I had a really interesting experience. About 2 years ago, I had to pick up. I love river cruising, and I've been on almost every river cruise line there is for long periods of time. I had to get to Bucharest, excuse me, and my ship let me off in, I think it was Amsterdam, and I had to make my way slowly with 3 trains to get to Vienna to pick up an overnight train to Romania, which I thought I had booked a luxury train, but surprise, surprise, it was not really luxurious, but it was adequate. It was a little scary. Being an American, we're not used to border checks going from Indiana to Illinois, and I was not prepared for a border check in the middle of the night, crossing into Hungary, and then leaving Hungary and into Romania, and it was quite an experience to be in a little compartment. It's not like Amtrak or the luxury train companies. It was a piece of plywood basically with a thin little mattress and a clean duvet. It was spotless, but you hear pounding on your door for your passport at 2:00 in the morning. It's a little unnerving, and that happened twice. I couldn't figure it out, and so I texted my daughter back in the States, and she's ready to call the American embassy in Romania because she didn't know what was going on. But all was fine, and the people in Romania are just as wonderful as ever. But that was like my scariest train trip ever. Most are pretty wonderful. I just completed a trip cross country on Amtrak from Chicago to Los Angeles. And then I took a ship around Hawaii for 2 weeks. I came back to Los Angeles. I'd always wanted to try the Coast Starlight, which goes from LA to Seattle. And that's the train from the old Hollywood era where the stars would board in Van Nuys and go up to Hearst Castle in San Luis Obispo. I think San Simeon was the castle. So I wanted to just see what it was like, and the train trip was awesome. The scenery is gorgeous. You hug the Pacific Ocean, oh gosh, for 2 or 3 hours. You're just looking out at the sea. It's beautiful. And then when I got to Portland, I boarded a river cruise, and there's it's the Queen of the West by American Cruise Line, and it's a paddle wheeler. So we went on a paddle wheeler from Portland, Oregon, all the way to Lewiston, Idaho, just about. Took a week doing that and went up to Mount St. Helens. It was kind of an interesting 6-week adventure because in Hawaii we went up to Kilauea volcano, and it's all tropical and everything else. And then here I am 2.5 weeks later up at Mount St. Helens. Snow was still 5-6 feet of snow in the side of the road. So it was an interesting study in contrast. But it's all good. And then I hopped on the Amtrak from the Empire Builder, which goes through Glacier National Park. And, of course, there was still snow on the ground in April, so it was another beautiful train ride back to Chicago. Back to Chicago, how am I getting back to Florida? There's a new luxury train company called Pullman Rail Journeys, and they hitch up onto the back of an Amtrak train, which in this case is the city of New Orleans. And we went in style all the way back to New Orleans from Chicago, and then I just drove back to Florida. So that was my latest adventure.
We've got a great guest with us today here on the line. Sherry Laskin joins us, the cruise maven. Talk to us about going on a full-masted sailing ship.
I am. It was just confirmed last week. I'll be on it's actually, not to correct the host of the radio show, but it's a 5-masted, 42-sail sailing ship called the Royal Clipper. It's the Star Clippers cruise line, and it's an actual replica of a 1902 sailing ship, which at that point, it was called the Preussen, if I pronounce that, Preussen, which at that time, in 1902, was the fastest sailing vessel in the world and the largest. So this is a replica of it, and I've never been on a tall ship before. So apparently, those who are daring enough can climb all the way up to the crow's nest. Of course, they're harnessed in, but I don't know if I'll do that since I don't like to fly. I don't think I'd like to be up there, but this should be. It's going to go through news out of Rome, and it will go through the Amalfi Coast and just puff out the sails when you're. I guess you have to get a certain distance out into the Mediterranean in order for the wind to really kick in and experience it. But I'm excited. Have you ever been on a sailing ship?
No, I have not. I'm hoping to at some stage of the game.
I mean, my experience with the sailing ship was like a Hobie cat when I was in college. on Lake Michigan, so this should be a little bit different.
We've got the cruise maven with us today here on the big broadcast, Sherry Laskin, and she's here to talk about all sorts of different things. You're a travel writer, cruise expert, and Satellite Beach, Florida is where she makes her stomping grounds. Talk to us about the different travel writing and different things that you do. Talk to us about some of your travel writing.
Oh, well, gee, I've written, I started in, not what I'd say, about 2002, I started writing for the industry and then morphed into writing for readers. And now I try to, I'm on everybody's PR distribution list for breaking news, so I try to post that as soon as it happens. Hopefully it's all good news. Or if there's special deals going on and renovations of older ships and things like that. So a helpful tip, like I just, over the weekend I put together, the 7 best ways to get a good cruise deal. And that's been getting a lot of views today. I keep checking every few minutes just to see how many views I'm getting per day on that one story. And everyone wants a cruise deal, and not everybody knows how to get it. And, with my background of 22 years in the travel industry, I sort of know the industry in and out. So I try to help people get the best deal possible.
We've got tremendous guests with us today. Sherry, I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, this was great, James. Thanks so much for inviting me, and hope to see you on a cruise someday soon.
Definitely. Hey, how do we get a hold of you on the internet? How do we find you?
CruiseMaven.com, MAVEN, Maven.com.
Good stuff. Well, thank you, Sherry. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Thanks so much. Take
Appreciate
care.
it.
Bye-bye.
Sherry Laskin with us today here on the big broadcast. We're going to take a quick time out here. When we come back, we've got more here on the big broadcast.
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit dollarseed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. Dollarseed.com. What could be healthier?
Have you tried HireContractor.com? It's a great site for home or property owners and contractors. Are you a contractor and have you signed up? If not, you're missing out on free leads. Don't delay. Register for free on HireContractor.com and get project leads by email on a regular basis. There are no per-lead fees, no sign-up costs, and no credit card needed to sign up. Contractors can list their profile on HireContractor.com with past projects, licenses, certifications, insurance, and references. You got a home improvement project? Post it for free on HireContractor.com. And contractors will get back to you with quotes or questions on your project. Review contractor profiles or ratings and select contractors you want to work with. Try HireContractor.com now. You've got nothing to lose.
It's a new year here at the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar show, and we are ramping up for a tremendous 2014. We have a lot of things coming up this year. We're doing a lot of television projects, going to be doing a lot of radio as well, and we need your help. shop our Amazon.com links. You can do all of your shopping through our website at JiggyJaguar.com. That's JiggyJaguar.com. It's as simple as clicking on our Amazon link. That will take you to Amazon. Amazon will still look the same. It'll still feel the same. You'll still get the same deals. We just get a little bit of help off a commission from Amazon if you do shopping through our link. Also, we have our advertising available on Fiverr.com, as well as many of these other micro sites around the internet. We have a complete list at our website, JiggyJaguar.com. Recently, we had Dr. Ted Baer on the program talking advertising with us.
If they said that our media doesn't have any influence, why would somebody buy an ad? Why would somebody buy an ad on your program? Hey, we don't have any impact. There's no reason for you to. So it's a no-brainer.
So check it out right now. We've got everything available at JiggyJaguar.com. Thanks for listening, and thanks for supporting Transmedia Worldwide.
Are you a writer? Do you have a great story for a movie? Scriptapalooza is accepting entries to their 16th annual screenwriting competition. We have over 90 producers reading all the entries and over $50,000 in cash and prizes. Does your script have what it takes to win the $10,000 first place prize? Visit scriptapalooza.com for more info. That's www.scriptapalooza.com. Hollywood is calling.
Welcome back to the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show. Coast to coast and border to border all over the World Wide Web and on 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada. Sandy Lane is going to join us here in a few moments to talk about all sorts of different things. She's got a lot of cool books out there, and we're going to talk about them here in just a few moments. Also, she's got a novel coming out here in a few moments. It's a really, really, really cool book. We've had Sandy on before, but I wanted to get Sandy on today to talk about all of this. Sandy, welcome back to the program. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, sir. Thanks for having me.
Now, you have been very busy. you have been a very, very, very busy bee lately. Let's talk about this new book. You've got a book series out. Kind of bring us up to speed on what's been going on since we had you on the show last.
Well, the book series that's coming out, I put the first book out last year in January, and book 2 is coming out next week. And it's Vikings. For everybody that likes Vikings, these are the real deal, and I'm exploring their culture a little bit.
That's cool.
That's what's happening.
Let's chat about the book. Why did you choose Vikings, and kind of tell us a little bit more about this?
Certainly. I wanted to write. I wanted to write a book. I know, right? Anyway, no, I wanted to write a story that took place early in the Viking era in Ireland. And I found this guy's name, and he's real, and his name is Torgeis. That's one of his names. And so when I found a real person that came to Ireland, I decided to make my historical fiction series about him. Well, it gets to him. And that's why one of the reasons the series is called Irish Viking. But in book 2, the one that's coming out next week, Irish Viking is the hero of the book, and actually he's a different guy, and his name is Agnar Halfordson. And he is coming to Ireland to settle, as the Vikings did to Ireland about 1,000 years ago. So that's what I'm writing about. This is a romance. So this is like how the Viking men met and married their Irish women and became, and they changed the culture, actually, of the whole island.
Well, this is such a cool book. Why write about Vikings when there is when I guess that the big thing is vampires these days?
I went for the history, because Vikings were, real, and that's my thing. But I went for Vikings because they were such a big influence on early Ireland in the culture that I was looking for. I wanted to explore that shift when the island kind of shifted from very insular, and then all of a sudden they're being attacked by different people, and they had to change. So the reason for that change, of course, was the Vikings, and they're fascinating. The Vikings are a fascinating culture, and there's so many misconceptions about them. I wanted to explore what history says they were, rather than what the stories say they were. And so that's what I tried to do for this series.
That's really cool. Now, with the book itself, what's been some of the different things you've discovered through your research and everything to put the writing together for this?
Ooh, that's been fun. I didn't know that carrots were purple back in the day. About 1,000 years ago, you didn't have orange carrots; you had purple carrots. These are little things, but they kind of make me happy, you know. I know, but it's the little things that really
of course.
I think, and of course. I looked at the different marriage customs, of course, in Norway, where my hero comes from, compared to the customs in Ireland. And that was fun because that means that my hero is coming to the whole concept of getting married, having children, settling down with a totally different mindset than the heroine. So they're coming from these completely opposite points of view, which is a really interesting place to start because usually most romances happen in the same culture. And so they're at least have the same idea of what is required. And this was completely different. I get to research the different languages, so I got to play with some Old Norse and some Gwalge, which would be Gaelic, Irish Gaelic, as well as Latin and a little bit of Danish. And I had all sorts of help with that online. Wonderful, wonderful people who lent me their brains so that I could investigate. And you get to know people by how they talk, I think. And so that was really helpful in getting to know my characters.
Now, what have you discovered through this whole process that you were just shocked when you found this out as far as the writing and everything goes?
I mean, one of the things I discovered was the writing process and how I will never ever put a hero and heroine in it with the communication difficulties I gave Agnar and Ashleen, because that was really hard to write. He couldn't speak. It wasn't that he didn't have words, or he had different words. It's just for a while he lost the power to speak. And they spoke this different language anyway, and so as a writer, that was something I wanted to have happen, but I didn't know how hard it was going to be. So that was, for Sandy, that was, oh, wow, let's not do this one again, because that was rough. But with the people, I think the neat thing you find about Vikings is that they're very clean and orderly people. So much of their history we see, you know, the big guys with the fur and the R and the weapons. You know, well, right? I mean,
yes.
Okay. So they're clean and orderly. They had a very good sense of their personal hygiene, and there were no horned helmets, you know, things like this. But some of the stuff was interesting in that, like, if you slept with a guy's wife, you could pay him, and it was okay. So long as, you know, she was willing, and if he felt insulted, well, you could pay him for that. And I was like, really? Okay. That was odd. But, yeah, just lots of different cultural notes that you look and you go, really? Really? Yeah, so it was fun.
Now, with this book, there is going to be a lot of people, and I'm sure that already you've had a lot of people reach out to you and ask you various questions. What are people wanting to know most about the book and as far as Vikings and everything is concerned?
I had somebody asked the top 10 ingredients for a perfect Viking book, you know, which was funny. And I think a lot of people are wanting to see the battles and the sweeping romance. And I have a lot of shirtless hero, so that's good. People like that. And, what I'm hearing a lot is why Vikings? And I guess to me, it's a fascinating culture, and that's the biggest question: is why are you doing this? Why not something else? And I did Vikings, very early Vikings, so this isn't even the Eric the Red Vikings. This is hundreds of years before that. So that is the biggest question I keep getting: is how come? Why are you doing these people? So because I have seen no books out there about Torgeis, who becomes the High King of Ireland in history in the 840s, and I've seen no major books about him. So that's one reason, I think, to write about this period, is there isn't a whole lot out there. Yeah.
Now, before we let you go, tell us a little bit more where we can find you and all this information.
fantastic. Well, I am a lot of places these days. I feel very, like, you look for Sandy Lane on Google and it's all over. It's very strange. I'm on Goodreads. Yeah, it's just odd. Goodreads, Facebook, Amazon, of course. I have several books on Amazon, contemporary and historical. And I met with my publisher at the Writer's Coffee Shop, of course. I have a website. That's Sandy Quill, SANDYQUILL.com, and that has all my other contact information. And pretty much if you just type in my name on there, just make sure it's Sandy with an I, because, that helps. Spelling it right.
Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you making time for us, and we'll talk soon. Thank you much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. Have yourself a wonderful day, Sandy.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Sandy Lane with us today here on the big broadcast. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we've got one more author. We're going to try to squeeze one more author in before we get IQ on. We're back after this.
At DollarSeed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit DollarSeed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. DollarSeed.com. What could be healthier?
Have you tried HireContractor.com? It's a great site for home or property owners and contractors. Are you a contractor and have you signed up? If not, you're missing out on free leads. Don't delay. Register for free on HireContractor.com and get project leads by email on a regular basis. There are no per-lead fees, no sign-up costs, and no credit card needed to sign up. Contractors can list their profile on HireContractor.com with past projects, licenses, certifications, insurance, and references. You got a home improvement project? Post it for free on HireContractor.com. And contractors will get back to you with quotes or questions on your project. Review contractor profiles or ratings and select contractors you want to work with. Try HireContractor.com now. You've got nothing to lose.
Welcome back to the broadcast, coast to coast. It is TalkRadioX.com. We've got William J. Barry joining us. He's got a novel, very, very, very interesting novel, Forever Awakening, third and the last book in the Sebastian and Afterlife series. William, welcome to the broadcast. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Pretty good, actually. Let's talk about this book here. Forever Awakening is the third book in the Sebastian and Afterlife series. Tell our listeners a bit about your series and what to expect in the third book.
Well, the series is about Sebastian, a 17-year-old boy that's recently died. He ends up in the spirit world that's somewhere between mortal life and the afterlife, and there's all kinds of stuff going on there. The Grim Reaper and his agents are actually the good guys, and they're trying to keep the realm safe from soul pirates who abduct spirits. Sebastian goes to like a ghost school and makes friends, and they get caught up in a fight against the pirates. You know, it's the whole thing that goes on there. And the series, I mean, really chronicles his journey through the spirit world to that afterlife.
It is a great guest with us today. William J. Barry joins us. Forever Awakening is the latest read. It is an amazing book. Why did you write the Sebastian and the Afterlife series? Does it have a special significance to you?
You know, initially I just set out to write a fun adventure story, but I guess as I got further into it, I realized maybe that in a way I was dealing with my own mortality. So I think the significance grew as I wrote it. I think it evolved into a way for me to let things go that I don't have any control over, like mortality, and focus on living. So it has more significance than I started.
It is a great guest with us today here on the line. William J. Barry joins us here on the broadcast. Tell us a bit about your writing in the paranormal genre. You write about mortality and the Grim Reaper. Why did you choose to do this?
It was really accidental. I came up with the characters Sebastian and Sarah, and I knew that they were in love, but something had come between them. Once I figured out that it was death, I realized that I was going to be writing a ghost story, and all the mythos grew out of there. And I put my own spin on things to try and make it interesting. I'm not drawn to the paranormal genre in particular, but it is fun to write in because it gives you a lot of room to create.
It's William J. Barry with us today at 26 minutes after the hour. Thanks for joining us here on the program. Tell us about your characters and how they have developed throughout the series.
Well, there are a lot of characters in the book, probably too many, and they've all got their own things going on. Sebastian's really grown to accept his new existence and let go of the mortal life that he doesn't have anymore. His friend Onyx, that started out seemingly weak and vulnerable in the beginning, she's ended up really strong. Jack starts out a bit of a clown and gets serious and focused. Bad guys turn good and good guys turn bad. I feel like there are really only a handful of significant characters that don't go through some big changes.
It's William J. Barry. Yes, go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead and jump in there, my friend.
No, I was just saying it's nice, that everybody has like the significant growth. It kind of keeps everything pretty interesting.
We've got William J. Barry with us today here on the program. Tell us a little bit about your writing process here. What is your writing process? Did you map out all 3 books or write as you go?
These I mapped out. I had a pretty solid outline for the first book before I started. As I got midway through the first book, I started figuring out what would happen in the next 2, and then I outlined each book before I started writing them. I feel like I could write a book writing as I went, but there was so much going on in these. Jumping from character to character's point of view, it kind of helped me to keep things straight.
It's William J. Barry with us today here on the broadcast. Where can our listeners purchase your books and get more information and chat with you online?
The books are available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and the TWCS Publishing House. And of course, Sebastian in the Afterlife has a Facebook page, and William J. Barry, it's me, has a Twitter page and a Facebook page. You can definitely find me online.
Well, good stuff. Well, thanks for being with us today. I really enjoyed the conversation talking about the books, and we would love to have you back when we get more opportunity to chat with you, my friend. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, thank you. It was really exciting to be on the Jiggy Jaguar.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. William, have yourself a wonderful day. We'll talk soon. Good luck with the books, my friend.
All right, thank you.
Thank you much. When we get back, IQ Al Rizzoli on the way. Coming back. Do you hear that? You can hear great tracks like this at Smooth Jazz Nation Power. Find them on YouTube. Smooth Jazz Nation Power. Or communicate with them on Twitter. Nation_Jazz. Oh yeah, Smooth Jazz Nation. The official page of Smooth Jazz Nation for non-stop jazz mixes. The best of all the greatest jazz musicians who have ever lived. Broadcasting out of Atlanta, GA. Check out Smooth Jazz Nation on YouTube. Do it today. Smooth Jazz Nation. It's a new year here at the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show, and we are ramping up for a tremendous 2014. We have a lot of things coming up this year. We're doing a lot of television projects, going to be doing a lot of radio as well, and we need your help. Shop our Amazon.com links. You can do all of your shopping through our website at JiggyJaguar.com. That's JiggyJaguar.com. It's as simple as clicking on our Amazon link. That will take you to Amazon. Amazon will still look the same. It'll still feel the same. You'll still get the same deals. We just get a little bit of help off a commission from Amazon if you do shopping through our link. Also, we have our advertising available on Fiverr.com, as well as many of these other micro sites around the internet. We have a complete list at our website, JiggyJaguar.com. Recently, we had Dr. Ted Baer on the program talking advertising with us.
If they said that our media doesn't have any influence, why would somebody buy an ad? Why would somebody buy an ad on your program? Hey, we don't have any impact. There's no reason for you to. So it's a no-brainer.
So check it out right now. We've got everything available at JiggyJaguar.com. Thanks for listening, and thanks for supporting Transmedia Worldwide.
Have you tried HireContractor.com? It's a great site for home or property owners and contractors. Are you a contractor and have you signed up? If not, you're missing out on free leads. Don't delay. Register for free on HireContractor.com and get project leads by email on a regular basis. There are no per-lead fees, no sign-up costs, and no credit card needed to sign up. Contractors can list their profile on HireContractor.com with past projects, licenses, certifications, insurance, and references. You got a home improvement project? Post it for free on HireContractor.com. And contractors will get back to you with quotes or questions on your project. Review contractor profiles or ratings and select contractors you want to work with. Try HireContractor.com now. You've got nothing to lose.
Are you a writer? Do you have a great story for a movie? Scriptapalooza is accepting entries to their 16th annual screenwriting competition. We have over 90 producers reading all the entries and over $50,000 in cash and prizes. Does your script have what it takes to win the $10,000 first place prize? Visit Scriptapalooza.com for more info. That's www.scriptapalooza.com. Hollywood is calling.
DJEM.
Do you hear that? You can hear great tracks like this at Smooth Jazz Nation Power. Find them on YouTube. Smooth Jazz Nation Power. Or communicate with them on Twitter. Nation_Jazz. Oh yeah, Smooth Jazz Nation. The official page of Smooth Jazz Nation for non-stop jazz mixes. The best of all the greatest jazz musicians who have ever lived. Broadcasting out of Atlanta, GA. Check out Smooth Jazz Nation on YouTube. Do it today. Smooth Jazz Nation.
At DollarSeed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit DollarSeed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. DollarSeed.com. What could be healthier?
It's a Minute Report for America. A new year is about to be born, and with it an opportunity to initiate a fresh approach to the challenges facing our nation confidently and honestly. There is room in the political landscape for viewpoints and opinions of every variety. There is, however, no room for dishonesty. For far too long we have endured rampant dishonesty on the part of government, politicians, and the media. First, the pretense that the economy is getting better must be cast aside. It is not. Far too many Americans continue to languish either unemployed or underemployed in jobs far beneath their capabilities. Second, the illusion that Washington can revitalize America better than the private sector must be finally put to rest. Everything big government can do has been done, and it has been an utter failure. $700 billion in stimulus dollars were wasted. The 41% increase in entitlements didn't reduce poverty. It's time to allow the private sector to do what it does best, bring prosperity. Finally, the reality of an increasingly dangerous world must be dealt with. Despite the nonsensical diplomatic platitudes, the planet is in more danger of a major conflict than at any time since World War II. International stability is rapidly disintegrating, a process largely due to America's withdrawal from world leadership and the reduction of our armed forces. These problems will begin to be resolved when we remove the blinders our politicians and media have saddled us with. I'm Frank Vernuccio. Read more at usagovpolicy.com.
Welcome back to the big broadcast, coast to coast and border to border, all over the World Wide Web. TalkRadioX.com, and of course, 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada. We've got IQ, Al Rizzoli, my good, close, personal, longtime friend, to help us wrap up this hour and also wrap up this broadcast day at 36 minutes after the hour. IQ, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
Pretty good, actually. We were talking earlier with Dr. Jack Caravelli about and I'm sure you're going to have lots and lots of things to say, which is the reason I bring this up. Apparently, President Obama has, and it's just like the minute you bring that up, you know what's coming. He has announced a plan to rule by executive order. He has recently been quoted as saying, we're not just going to be waiting for legislation in order to make sure that we're providing Americans the kind of help they need. I've got a pen and I've got a phone. Well, that's what frightens the bejesus out of me. What do you think of this situation? And just give me your full report on this, IQ.
Either the American people are utterly stupid, or Congress is incompetent. Any president of the United States takes it upon himself to become a dictator should be removed from office but after being impeached and put in prison. And I don't care whether it's Obama or anybody else. It is, the preamble to the American Constitution says, we the people.
Yes.
I repeat it. We the people. It doesn't say Obama. It doesn't say Congress. It doesn't say the president. It says we, the people. And for a man to say what he did, if this is what he said, he should be removed from office immediately. That's not an opinion. I don't have opinions. I have knowledge.
Yes, you do.
Doesn't it? But that's less arrogance than what Obama is talking about. He should be removed from office forthwith. Back to you, sir.
We've got IQ, Al Rizzoli, with us today. He is available online. He's also available on Twitter if you want to get a hold of him as well. The Kelly Thomas verdict has recently come up. We were talking with Dr. Jack about this earlier and a few others. Cops seem to now have a license to pretty much do whatever the hell they want, including murder. One thing that there are a certain amount of cops that I know and that I've dealt with that are very nice people, and they're just out there trying to do their job. And then there's others that are no better than the mafia. What do you think about this Kelly Thomas verdict? Basically, these cops they basically just realistically killed this guy and pummeled him into a coma, and then they were found apparently not guilty on anything.
Well, I really can't understand what's happening in America. Well, sorry, let me rephrase it.
Yes.
I can understand what's happening in America.
Well, yeah.
You're losing it completely.
Yeah.
You're losing your moral direction. You're losing your financial capacity. You're losing your intellect. You're losing your power to be of importance in this world. I'm not kidding with you. I'm an outsider looking in. I'm an outsider looking in, and I've been watching the United States of America all my life. and you're losing it. Who is you? The American people.
Yeah.
You have the worst government that I have ever read about or studied in my life. I'm not kidding. And it's not because Obama is black. I don't give a damn if he's polka dot. This is an administration which is destroying America, has been destroying America for 6 years. And nobody is waking up. Nobody, especially the media. Your media, by the way, in general, are more criminal than Osama bin Laden. Why? Osama bin Laden is an enemy, a declared avowed enemy. You know who he is. The media is supposed to be the protector of the American people. They are literally the enemies of the American people because they are misguiding you. I'll give you an example. The latest headlines between Israel and the USA are due to the strong but factual remarks made by Israel's Defense Minister Ya'alon about Kerry. Almost Kerry's messianic attitude to bring about so-called peace between Palestinians and Israel. It's a simple item. One item out of maybe 500 that's facing the United States of America. Ya'alon said that he finds Kerry inexplicably obsessive as a would-be peacemaker with his shaky grasp of Israeli-Palestinian realities and his woeful, inadequate high-tech West Bank security proposals. He is the defense minister of Israel. He has to protect Israel. Today, I would like to explain the facts to the American people who are rarely told the truth by most of their politicians, media, academia, and clergy because of either a politically correct mindset or for ulterior unfair reasons. First and foremost, I would like to point out that these are the very Palestinians who celebrated the Holocaust of 3,000 Americans on 9/11. They are the same who celebrated 7/7 of London. They are the same who are literally eradicating the presence of Christians and Christianity from their territories as we speak. Yet Kerry is trying to convince the Israelis that all will be kumbaya and the minute they sign with the Muslims. Secondly, do you Americans realize that tens of thousands of your best men and women have died fighting to liberate or save Muslims from Muslims in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Iraq, Kosovo, Bosnia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and more in the last 50 years? Do you know that? The answer is no. And with them, trillions of dollars worth of expenses, and for what? Do you know that not a single American has died in defense of Israel? Not one. Because the Israelis know how to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
I'm mentioning all these as a prelude to Kerry's utterly incomprehensible and insane attempts to achieve the blatantly obviously impossible. What Kerry is trying to bring about, ladies and gentlemen, is a so-called two-state solution and peace between Arabs and Jews, which is doomed to fail because neither Kerry nor most Americans have any clue regarding the facts of the issues, the national compositions, the historical background, and most important of all, Americans' almost total psychological and intellectual failure to understand Islam. Let me enlighten you. In 1947, the United Nations finally agreed to a two-state solution in British-controlled, mandated Palestine, one for the Arabs and one for the Jews. 99.99% of Americans are never informed that the original Balfour Declaration of 1917 regarding the Ottoman Empire Palestine territory addressed a land surface comprising what is currently Jordan, Israel, and the Palestinian lands. In contravention of their mandate under the League of Nations, the British unilaterally gave 78% of mandated Palestine to create the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan east of the River Jordan. Anyone suspicious of me, Google the subject and learn. The 1947 UN resolution spoke of an Arab, not Palestinian territory, and a Jewish one, based on the names of two national groups not based on religion. Jews are a nationality, not a religion. Jew baiting, so-called Christians especially, should remember that their Gospels assert that Jesus the Jew died in the land of Judea under Roman occupation and crucified as the King of the Jews, and there was not a single Palestinian in sight. In 1947, the Jews accepted their slither of land and declared the creation of the State of Israel after 2,500 years of being an occupied and exiled people. Instantly, 6 of the most powerful Arab states, with their Arabs of mandated Palestine, declared a war of extermination. As Azzam Pasha, the leader of the Arab League, asserted, he said, the slaughter of the Jews will be greater than that brought about by the Mongols. I repeat once more that 65 years ago, there was a two-state solution that the Jews of Israel accepted, but the Arabs refused. The Arab war of attempted extermination was defeated, causing 2 major refugee problems. An Arab one of estimated 750,000. By the way, they were not called Palestinian refugees. They were called Arab refugees. And the other was the forced exile of over 950,000 Jews from Arab and Muslim countries. While every American reads and hears about the so-called Palestinian refugees, for the last 65 years, 99.99% of Americans rarely, if ever, heard of the Jewish refugees from the Muslim lands, who were never, and I repeat, never became a burden upon the UN, but were fully absorbed and integrated into the newly created State of Israel. While the only contributions the world has had from the Arab refugees of mandated Palestine have been parasitic and terroristic, without creating a state for themselves, the Jews of Israel, returning exiles from 70 nations, have produced the most thriving and productive nation anywhere outside the North American and European democracies. While Israelis teach their children to excel as productive and decent human beings, the so-called Palestinians teach their children from age 3 how to hate, terrorize non-Muslims, and be accomplished suicide bombers. For most Americans who do not know, the people whom the Muslims call infidels or kuffar in Arabic constitute currently 80% of humanity, whom I call Ummat al-Kuffar, or the nation of infidels, as seen from the warped and twisted perspective of Sharia-compliant Muslims. This Ummat al-Kuffar, or nation of infidels, is made up of all Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, Jews, atheists, agnostics, etc. In a nutshell, all non-Muslims. With whom does this genius Kerry want the Israelis to make peace? After all, Abbas of the West Bank was and is part of the terrorist organization called Fatah, who sits as an unelected president for the last 5 years, who is not accepted by the people of Hamas-dominated Gaza as their representative. Both Abbas and Hamas assert publicly that their final intention is the extermination of any Jewish entity in the Middle East, just as they are accomplishing, with American and European help, the eradication of Christians in the Middle East and Africa. For 19 years, ladies and gentlemen, between 1948 to 1967, the Arabs of Palestine could have had a state, but refused to create one, and fully accepted the occupation of the West Bank by Jordan and Gaza by Egypt. And not a pipsqueak was heard from the UN, the USA, or Europe objecting or condemning this blatant occupation during these 19 years. The protestation started, funnily enough, only after Israel's stunning defeat of the Arabs in self-defense in the 6 Days War of 1967. All of a sudden, the whole world woke up to Israeli occupation of the very territories that for 19 years no one complained about. One should wonder why the double standard, why the hypocrisy, why the duplicity. By the way, From whom did Israel occupy these lands, since there was no sovereign state to lose it in the first place? All of a sudden, the duplicitous world speaks of international law, the same law that somehow the world was in total amnesia for 19 years. So my simple question. Sorry, sir.
No, I just think it's funny that you bring up the amnesia thing. I just think that's hilarious. They seem to not remember anything.
All about law and order. So my simple question, that even a moron knows the answer to, is why would Israelis submit their survival and security built on a worthless piece of paper with people who want them dead? Does Kerry not know that the charters of both Hamas and Fatah are against any peace with Israel? Is he comatose to the publicly declared statements of the Palestinians that even a so-called peace treaty would only be a further step to extinguish the Jewish state? Is he totally uninformed that Abbas, with whom he wants Netanyahu to make peace, asserts that in the Palestinian territories there will not be allowed a single Jew, while at the same time would not agree that Israel will be a Jewish majority state? The Arabs know these talks cannot possibly succeed, since their publicly and repeatedly declared bottom line is not peace, but the eradication of Israel and its people. The Israelis also know that without a defensible and true peace, they cannot relinquish their control of these territories, come what may. Dear Americans, all that Kerry is accomplishing is a charade that allows him incredibly expensive but worthless trips at American taxpayers' money. I defy any listener to debate me these subjects and prove me wrong. Back to you, sir.
Well, I'll have to say, IQ Al Rassooli, you are very knowledgeable. You have got your facts straight, and there is a lot of people that that don't. That's the one thing I think is always so great about you. You are fantastic, my friend. I want to get your thoughts on. I want to get your thoughts on some of these other stories that are going around the world. We've got a lot of things going on. There is now a report that Al-Qaeda was involved in Benghazi. The attack was preventable. I knew it. I knew you were going to start laughing. Go ahead, jump in there, sir. Now, keep in mind that this is Al-Qaeda that the United States government on record is funding.
You have a good sense of humor. We can laugh.
Yes.
Now, this Al-Qaeda is the worst red herring since the death of Osama bin Laden. There is no such thing as Al-Qaeda.
I know.
It is as if there is a giant brain somewhere, God knows, in outer space that controls all these Muslims. Ladies and gentlemen, every single believing Muslim is a member of Al-Qaeda. Every single one of them, whether they are in America, in Europe, in Russia, in China, doesn't make any difference. Why? They're reading the same script. What is the script? The Quran. The minute people read the Quran, they become jihadi Muslims. Why? Because that is exactly what their God Allah tells them. By the way, their God Allah is not the same as the God of Jesus, Moses, and Abraham. Because Allah is Muhammad. Just in case if somebody is shocked, I have over $2 million now. It used to be $1 million. I've increased it to $2 million. To anyone trying to prove me wrong, to collect $2 million. Go and get them. Allah and Muhammad are one and the same. Because nobody revealed to Muhammad anything in the Quran. Every letter, every word, every chapter and the verse in the Quran were the product of Muhammad's perverted mind, the secretions of his warped brain, made to order revelations to suit what he wanted, sexual, economic, military, or whatever. Prove me wrong. Back to you, sir.
I love it. IQ Al Rassooli with us today. Well, I know one thing with Al-Qaeda. They always talk about, well, Al-Qaeda could be behind this, that could be behind that. Well, Also, they never ever bring up the fact that the U.S. government is on record funding Al-Qaeda. But we will move on here. There is a story from the Jamestown Foundation that is talking about transforming Libya into a land of jihad. What are your thoughts on this?
They are already transformed into a land of jihad. Since Obama took over, ladies and gentlemen, please realize this. Before he was elected, I said he was a Muslim. I said he was a closeted Muslim. But he's not a closeted Muslim anymore. You have 10 top-level people in your security services, in Homeland Security, in the FBI, in the CIA, and in the White House, who are members of the Muslim Brotherhood. Do you know them? They are in your government. What has Obama done in the last 6 years? Everything to do that will empower Islam everywhere in the world, Obama has agreed to. Has any one of you heard Obama complain about the extermination of Christians in the Middle East, in North Africa, and in the Muslim world?
No.
Never. Not a word.
No.
Literally, last year, the year 13 to 14, almost 100,000 Christians have been eliminated in the Muslim world. Not a pipsqueak. Not from Obama, not from Congress, not from the Christian churches in America or in Europe, nothing from the Vatican. And God bless Pope Francis. He says he couldn't find anything offensive in the Quran. I find that really beyond comprehension.
Did he pick up? Did someone switch the book or something?
No. He never read the book. That's
oh,
why.
okay.
So only when he was listening to a Muslim who was telling him that everything in the Quran is good. It is impossible, ladies and gentlemen. It is impossible. It's a physical impossibility to find a single decent verse in the Quran. Not one. Not one, ladies and gentlemen. And yet Pope Francis says, embrace Islam. Really? While they're exterminating Christianity. I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it. All I can see is that Western civilization is going down the drain. By the way, the irony, this is the ultimate irony. Putin of Russia,
yes,
born in the Soviet Union as a communist, grew up in the KGB as a communist, is today the foremost defender of Christianity in the world. Can you believe that?
Wow.
But it's true. Yes, it's true, honestly. He is on record, literally on record, since the attack in Volgograd, that he will defend Christianity against Islam. It's on record.
Wow.
Only if Russia, America, and China join forces together will they be able to defeat Islam.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's the end of everybody. Am I exaggerating? The answer is
no. You are not. That is the thing, and
you have to work together. This is a concerted effort. Islam against every human being on the planet. 20% of humanity in the Muslim world is against 80% of humanity of non-Muslim world. And their declared intention is crystal clear in every mosque, in 80 languages, in 180 countries, to say, we shall Islamize you whether you like it or not.
Well, see, this is something else I wanted to get your thoughts on, and we've got time for it. Earlier today, at the top of the broadcast, I played an interview that I did with radio talk show host Rusty Humphreys about 2 years ago, and he played some clips that were from the United Kingdom. Him and Aaron Klein went over, and at one point, one of the clips that he played was with an interview he did with a Muslim gentleman, and he said he was standing out there on the street, and he said, how can non-believers and how can we get to the point where everybody gets to be buddies and everything? And he goes, how can you stop hating on non-Muslims? And he goes, well, become a Muslim.
Absolutely right. He was telling the truth, and I'll tell you who it was. Maybe Anjam Chowdhury.
Wow.
Anjam Chowdhury is in England.
Yes.
And he is the most truthful Muslim you will ever find. He is offensive, But he's telling the truth. He says, we shall Islamize you. We shall bring Sharia to England. We shall bring Sharia to Europe. We shall bring Sharia to America. He is telling the truth, and what does the media call him? Extremist. Ladies and gentlemen, there are no shades in Islam. There's no such thing as extremist Muslim, a radical Muslim, or a militant Muslim. Islam is radical, militant, extremist, full stop. Anybody finds that offensive, have the backbone to come defy me.
Well, nobody's going to do that.
I've been waiting for somebody for 6 years.
You've been...
Yes, 6 years, it's a long time.
You've been on thousands of radio programs. You've been on tons of television shows. Just keep waiting.
No takers.
Yeah, no takers, my friend. Well,
no takers. I'm begging for somebody, scholar of Islam, an imam, an ayatollah, anybody. Come publicly, let's debate the subject. 10 minutes I give him to survive.
Well,
and that's too long, by the way.
Yes. Well, IQ, we have run out of time, my friend. I'm looking forward to next week. And
God bless you.
God bless, and have a good week, sir.
You take care.
Appreciate it. IQ Al Rizzoli with us today, and that is that. That wraps it up for the world famous Jiggy Jaguar show.
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when
they just don't. If you think they don't like Senate, they really don't like me.
I've met some very cool cops. I know
Name
that
one.
there are bad apples.
One, I had a nice experience with LAPD, like back in the day, where they actually, I'm not going to name the officers, obviously, but I had a bunch of drinks, and a cop actually always wanted to drive a Jeep, so he said, I'll drive your Jeep home for you. And they actually gave me a police escort.
Imagine
with
that.
The cop
How great
driving
is that?
It was great. That's the only positive experience.
From a bar parking lot, they actually did that. They said, you know what, I'll drive your Jeep home. You just get in the fucking...
Get in the back of the squad car, place you're accustomed to being. Get in the back. And they gave me like a presidential escort and dropped my Jeep off.
How great is that?
That was great. Yes, that's the only positive experience I've ever had with cops here in L.A. The only. I've gotten jaywalking tickets in front of Staples Center. I mean, it's just bad scene.
Oh, that's right. That was awesome,
Oh,
too.
didn't we all get those?
85 fucking bucks.
No.
I did, and I think the old engineer.
Correct.
Not Art, another guy I don't want to say.
Yeah.
We got hit. We got hit. 85 bucks.
Yeah.
I said, come on, you guys,
What
please.
person that lives in Los Angeles gets a fucking jaywalking ticket?
Right.
Well, actually, they used to be very common in Beverly Hills. I don't know about that.